Today we're going to be looking into a book called Sudan's Blood Memory. It's a very good book. For those of you guys looking into the history of Sudan, I definitely advise you to take a look at this book. It's written by Stephanie Beswick. And yeah, you know, Sudan, it says legacy of war and ethnicity and slavery in South Sudan. And we're just really going to get into a very specific portion of the book. I'm going to read it. I'm going to advise you guys to definitely get this book for yourself to get all the details about it. But I'm just going to give you guys, I'm just going to show you guys, read a very small portion of the book just so you guys will be able to have a general idea of what this book is. Not what it's about, what that specific section is about, and what I'm gonna plan to do with this knowledge. We're gonna be looking into the section of the book called Changing the Nilotic Frontier. This is very important, especially when we're talking about connecting like ancient Egyptian cultures, figuring out who the ancient Egyptians were, and acknowledging the diversity of ancient Egypt. Because even when people say that ancient Egypt was a black civilization, we had all types of black. It must have been all types of black people there, not just one type. You know, had the Nilotics, had the Kushitics. You know what I mean? Some say Bantu was there. I don't approve, but I don't deny that. You know what I'm saying? I just say, you know, that once I see the evidence, I see that the evidence is there. And so, you know, many different groups say that they can trace their origins back. So before we get into this part, I would like to show you guys that there is actually a place out here where it shows Dinka migrations from northern Sudan, which was actually, you know, I'd say it's pretty accurate. You know, this book pretty much checks oral histories and archaeological histories. So here, these are the Dinka migrations, as you can see. So I don't know if it says map approximate dates of Dinka migrations from northern into southern Sudan. So as you can see, we have it all here. You know what I mean? So, so when we flip to page 15, it reads, we see a similarity between the Dinka and ancient culture of the Egyptians. Samuel Bulan Eliad, a Bor Atok Dinka artist. And this is actually pretty powerful for me because me, myself, I'm Dinka Bor. So, you know, it's very, very nice to see this. It says, archaeological studies strongly suggest that the most populous Nilotic culture of present South Sudan, the Dinka, did not arrive in the region until the 14th to 15th centuries. Yet it has long been held by some scholarship that all Western Nilotic people originated in southern Sudan. The Dinka, who comprised the largest population of Western Nilotes in South Sudan today, however, support the archaeological studies that poses oral history that their forefathers once lived much farther north. Many suggest, for example, that they originated from the land between the Blue and White Niles, the Jazeera. Others claim an origin even closer to Egypt. What follows is a comparison of Dinka oral histories and myths cross-checks with linguistics and Nubian geographers and travelers' accounts. Many East African Nilotic people poses a common myth/history which they hold key to their origin. Histories and myths of Central Sudanese homeland. Within Western Nilotic Dinka, Lul, Shuluk, Enyok, Nuer, and Atwat are myths concerning migrations from a larger body of water. For example, let me actually get comfortable. The Atwat remember that before they lived in southern Sudan, all Dinka, Nuer, and Atwat came from a place known as Adegdi, a body of water so vast that a bird would be unable to cross its expanse without dying. In eastern Twitch Dinka, Ayuel Permena Bull states, it is said we came from the north, possibly from Egypt and the Mediterranean. There are two reasons for this. Our people picture a river with a bird, where a bird can fly until it gets so tired it falls into the water. But there is no river in our area like that. Yet the Dinka terminology for this body of water is Ababdi. In parentheses it says ocean, a river with no shore. we think that this story refers to the Mediterranean or to the Red Sea, and so we believe that we come from the north. Yet no scholar has been able to place this mystical siege geographically. So that's just a tiny look into it, and you know, as the more you read into the book, the deeper it gets. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely advise you to go take a look at that book. It's very good, very stellar information. And yeah, and so really, like what I said, this contains like oral histories, and it goes back into like our origin. And so this is very important, you know, especially because we can also see the cultural identity of Western Nilotics and Dinkas inside of ancient Egypt, and even we can say for generally a majority of the Nilotic community, you know what I mean? And so I feel like this is a very important find, you know, in African history and Nilotic history, especially because, you know, oftentimes Nilotic people aren't always accredited with, you know, their history, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, yeah, something to look at. Anyways, with that being said, I'm out. Peace out. Y'all have a good one, man. I'll stay tuned for